Welcome to another FPV story time. There's a fly literally crawling across the lens right now, which shows you exactly why I'm still wearing this thing.
Welcome to HTX.
So we're going to get on with it. We're going to send it up, and I'm going to tell you a story today about the time I almost lost my DJI Mini 2. So let's go for it. Okay, so picture this. You're on a beautiful beach in the Philippines and you think, you know what, I'm going to get some cool drone shots here. So you pull out the drone, you start flying around, you're getting some really cool looking shots. The white sand, the blue water, and then you think, yo, a really cool shot here. Nice and low and fast over the water. It's going to look good. So you get yourself lined up nice and low, chuck the drone into sport mode for that extra bit of speed. And then you begin, so you're flying and then you get lower and lower and lower and lower until the point you almost hit the water, and then you pull up and by magic you do not smash your drone into water and lose it. So what actually happened here? Let's quickly break this down and I'm going to dissect it and tell you exactly what happened, what I learned from it, and how you can also learn from it to avoid something similar happening to you. So basically what happened was, when you put it into sport mode and you start flying really fast, the angle of the drone becomes so steep that, especially on the Mini 2, the camera has to flick downwards in order to keep the drone's body out of the field of view. And when this happens, basically you're going very, very quickly. And you're going so fast actually that the angle of the drone is really steep. And when the angle of the drone becomes this steep, you actually sort of lose a lot of the lifting force that you would have had from the propellers, because all the thrust is going into moving you forwards rather than lifting you up. So what happens in this case, the drone starts to lose altitude, and when this happens, if you don't notice it and catch it quickly enough, you're in for a whole lot of pain, because luckily I was keeping a close watch of the drone and I was actually watching it line of sight for this particular maneuver, because I knew I was going to be getting really low and it was going to be fairly risky. I made sure I had a really good visual on the drone and I was watching it, and as I saw it get super low, I just bailed on the forwards momentum, let the drone settle down and put all the thrust into going upwards, and then we managed to pull out of this death-defying maneuver. And I went into the drone's telemetry afterwards, and I actually got as low as 20 centimeters away from the water, which is literally nothing. So yeah, it always pays, if you're doing sort of a really risky maneuver like that, to be able to fully see your drone, exactly how it is, what the relation is to the ground, just to avoid like a mishap like what could have happened there. Luckily, because I was doing all the right things, I saw exactly what my drone was doing and I knew exactly what to do to avoid disaster. But yeah, it's a little lesson. The shots, you know, we always say just do it for the shot, but the shot is not normally worth losing your machine over, because then you can't get any more shots in the future. So yeah, I hope this has taught you a little something about when you're flying and getting a bit of a riskier shot. Always make sure that you can keep a visual on the machine, just to avoid any disasters. Because luckily I was smart, kept an eye on it. Disaster was averted, but if I was just watching through the screen, the chances are the latency would have been so much that I would have just smashed the drone into the water, never to be seen again. But yeah, that didn't happen, so we're all good. I'm gonna head back. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next FPV story time.